Welcome. In this playthrough Marvel Champions, a card game, I start another campaign into the Sinister Motives with Spider-Ham and the Spider Suit. So 2 new heroes just arrived, and I did a quick poll on the channel for members, and they chose that I start a Sinister Motives campaign into this. So our first scenario is the Sandman, so going over our villain deck, the main scheme, and counters. So we've got the City in Chaos and Down to Earth set up. And I'm going to put the Public Outcry environment in place. I've got that set up here. I'm going to shuffle the Smear campaign into the encounter deck. I've already done that. And we're going to get a random campaign community service, and I've already got one of those in our encounter deck. So for Sandman, he's got a scheme of 1, attack of 2, Sandblast, a force to interrupt when Sandman attacks you. That attack deals indirect damage. If your identity takes any amount of damage from that attack, resolve the Surging Sands ability on city streets. 16 health per player. Then on to the city streets. Surging Sands, a special. Place a sand counter here. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck equal to the number of sand counters here. It's a hero action. Exhaust a character you control. Remove sand counters from here equal to that character's attack. And then for our one and only main scheme, set up searching counter deck for the city streets environment, put it into play, place 4 sand counters on it. Then we've got a threshold of 9 threat per player, so up to 18 force response. After an acceleration token is placed on the scheme, deal 3 indirect damage to the first player, and this will be starting with 4 threat on it. And Public Outcry has an acceleration token there, or symbol for victory. 1, so when we defeat this, it's going to be removed from that game. Starts with 2 per player notoriety counters. As a response, after minion or side scheme is defeated, remove 1 notoriety counter from here. And for our heroes, with Peter Porker, I've decided to go with Justice. And Penny Parker, we are going with Aggression. So starting with Spider-Ham or Peter Porker, Recovery 5. It's got cartoon powers. Response, after you make a basic recovery, place a toon counter on Peter Porker. Hand size of 6, 12 health. On the flip side, hero side, it's got a thwart of 2, attack of 1, defense of 1. Each toon counter on Spider-Ham can be spent as if it were a wild resource. Spider Nonsense, as a response after Spider-Ham takes any amount of damage, place a toon counter on him and a hand size of 5 on this side. So going with Justice and not doing any of the Power of Justice cards, I think he creates enough resources for himself. Going with 3 for Justice. 3 clear the areas under surveillance, 2 spy crafts, 2 overwatches, which are new cards that came in his set. Then we've also got Spider-Man, Lady Spider, Spider-Woman, and Agent Coulson. And for the basic cards, it did bring in the 3 dual resources using Across the Spider-Verse, Web of Life and Destiny, 2 team building exercise cards. Then we've got the Scarlet Spider, Ghost Spider, and a Plan B, just because, well, it's Spider-Ham. Why not? Then for Penny Parker, Recovery of 4, Psychogenetic Compatibility setup. Put the Spider Suit into play in active side face up, which is going to be this. Maintenance, Alter Ego action. Exhaust the Spider Suit to draw 2 cards. Hand size of 4, hit points of 14. So the Spider Suit on inactive side, basically on both sides, it has permanent, this card's printed text box, cannot be treated as if it were blank. And so we've got that there. So the active side, it's got that same thing also. Return to base. When you flip to this side, flip Spider to Penny Parker, detach Penny Parker from here, moving all counters on her and cards attached to her to this card. And then when we flip over to the hero side, got the permanent keyword there, just letting us know when we flip over, this gets flipped with it. Thwart of 2, attack of 2, defense. Sync ratio is a resource, exhaust an interface upgrade you control, generate that upgrade's resources, hand size of 3 on this side. Then got 1 Power of Aggression, combat training, 3 melees, 3 relentless assaults, 3 uppercuts, 3 piercing strikes, and then Marvel Boy, Throg, Spider-Girl, and the Hulk, because they just don't have Web Warriors in Aggression. And then over here, we've got our 3 dual resources, Spider-Man, well, Hobie Brown, Peter Parker, and Otto Octavius, and then a Plan B. All right, just about ready to get going here. Shuffling on counter deck. And for our heroes, Penny Parker getting 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Genius, Uppercut, Combat Training, and another Uppercut. Go ahead and keep that. Not ideal. Web Fluid Compressor and Speed Metal Alloy. And for Peter Porker, getting 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Web Pig, Scarlet Spider, Clear the Area, Team Building Exercise, another Web Pig, and Spider Woman. We'll keep 1 ally in there. Pitching those 4. Ham It Up, Overwatch, another Ham It Up, and Spycraft. Not a good pick there. All right, we're going to start here. Alter Ego action. Exhaust the Spider Suit to draw 2 cards. Spider-Man and a Piercing Strike. All right, so we'll go ahead and flip over. We'll bring in the combat training, giving us +1 attack. We'll exhaust to bring in some speed metal alloy. So whenever we defend, we can exhaust this to get +2 defense. Then use that as a resource along with Piercing Strike to bring in our Web Fluid Compressor. So when we do a basic attack, exhaust this for +2 attack. Then we're going to flip on over, bring in Team Building Exercise. So as a hero action, exhaust this, play a card from your hand that shares a trait with the hero, reducing its resource cost by 1. Restore a cartoon and a Web Warrior. So go ahead and use that. So Web Warrior to bring in Spider-Woman, 4-1 attack of 2, 3 health. And reduce the cost of player by 1 if we had some confused people in play. Then we're going to exhaust her to remove 2 tokens from here. Then we will thwart for 2. And end her turn. We'll go ahead and keep Spider-Man. Drawing into Plan B and an all systems go. And over here, Organic Webbing, the Daily Beagle, I don't think so. Petulant Pig, and Web of Life and Destiny. So we get 2 threat plus the 1. Attacking over here, we are going to defend for 4. So base 2, 3 damage, so we're fine. Over here, we're just going to take it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Down to 8. We get a counter. We add 1 up here and discard 3 cards. Then our encounter cards. Friends and family. While in hero form, increase the resource cost of each event you play by 1. It's an alter ego action. Discard an identity specific card from your hand to discard this obligation. And over here, Sand Clone, Schema 1. Attack of X is equal to the number of sand counters on the city streets, 3 health. When defeated, resolve the Surging Sands ability on city streets. And pass first player. Well, first thing, free Web of Life and Destiny. Ignore this card's resource cost if your identity has a Web Warrior trait, which we do. Then we're going to exhaust to remove 2 counters. Then stick her tongue out at the villain. The villain attacks you, and then we draw 3 cards. So attacking us for 1, 2, goodness, 5. Down to 3 health. We get a token. City Streets gets a token, and we discard 2 cards. Now we draw 3. Agent Coulson, Under Surveillance, and for Justice. All right, we're going to bring in some organic webbing. Actually, yes, organic webbing. We get +1 thwart. Hero action, exhaust the webbing, remove a tune counter from Spider-Ham. Ready Spider-Ham, and he gets the aerial trait until the end of the phase. Then we're going to bring in the Daily Beagle. It's an alter ego action, exhaust it. Place a tune counter on Peter Porker. Then we will thwart for 3. Spend a counter to ready. And flip over. And recover for 5, so we're up to 8. That gets us a token, and we exhausted that to ready. The Beagle gets us another counter. I'm going to use these 2 interfaces as resources along with Plan B to bring in an ally. Thwart 2, attack of 1, 3 health. Play only if you control a Web Warrior card, which we do. Interrupt when Spider-Man leaves play. Discard the top 3 cards in the counter deck. Deal damage to the villain equal to the number of boost icons discarded this way. And then I'll go ahead and thwart for 2. And flip over. It's an alter ego action. We'll discard an identity specific card to get rid of the obligation. And ender turn. All right, 6 cards over here. Clear the area for justice. Cross the Spider-Verse, a web pig, a lady spider, and a huge wooden hammer. Over here are big 4 cards. Melee, the Hulk, Spider-Man, and Spider-Girl. 3 threat. Scheming over here for 1, 2, and 3. And scheming over here for 2. And counter cards. Inherited Burden. You may flip, give to Penny Parker. May flip to Alter Ego, which we are. And then we're just going to exhaust to remove this from the game. And the villain's going to scheme. For 1, reveal this card. Attach a Sandman. When you would deal any amount of damage to Sandman, discard this instead. Resolve the Surging Sands ability on city streets. So he schemed for 1 more and pass first player. All right, we're going to use our ability to exhaust the suit to draw 2 cards, Venom and a melee. Go ahead and flip over. So for Spider-Man, we're required to pay these resources. So we've got the mental, energy, and that will give us our physical. Thwart 2, attack of 2, 3 health. After he attacks or thwarts, choose another Web Warrior character and ready that character. We're going to thwart for 2. Ready there. Then this Spider-Man will thwart for 2. And this is Peter Parker, and that's Hobie Brown, so that's all good. And then he's going to leave play. We'll discard the top 3 cards in counter deck, deal damage to the villain equal to the number of boost icons. That's nice to see. So 5 damage. Oh well. Just doing 1. I'm just going to trigger that. Lose 3 more cards. Then we're going to bring in the Hulk. Can't thwart. Attack of 3, 5 health. After he attacks, we'll discard a card and something special will happen, but we're going to use him for the city streets and just exhaust him to remove 3 counters. Then we're going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take out this guy, which will get rid of our first token over here, but it adds 1 over there. Discard a card. Then over here, sauce the Beagle to get a token. We're going to recover to go to our max 12. Grab a token. Flip over. I'm going to play Across the Spider-Verse. Exhaust a Web Warrior card you control. Search your discard pile for a Web Warrior. Well, I guess before I do that, I should make sure I've got one. We do. All right, search your discard pile for a Web Warrior ally and put it into play. Then choose a player. That player may spend 3 resources of any type to repeat. We'll choose yourself and not do anything. We'll exhaust that Web Warrior. So play only if you control a Web Warrior card, which we do. When you would reveal an encounter card, name a card type. Then look at that card. If that card is the name type, deal a damage to Scarlet Spider and draw a card. Oh, and I did forget. When we lost Spider-Man over here, could have picked someone to draw a card. Would have picked myself. We got a Petulant Pig. What we're going to do is use that to reduce our cost for a cartoon card. Deal 6 damage to an enemy and confuse that enemy. Down to 10. And confused. Spend a token to exhaust that and ready. Spend 2 tokens. Give us +1 attack as a hero interrupt. When we make a basic attack, exhaust the huge wooden hammer and remove a tune counter from him. Spider-Ham gets +2 attack for that attack, and the attack gains overkill. We're just going to thwart for 2. Actually, it's 3. And have the spider attack for 2. Down to 8. And end our turn. All right, 3 cards over here. All systems go, power of aggression and energy. Then over here, Captain America, hogwashed, Plan B, energy, and clear the area. So 3 threats. Attacking over here. We're going to defend for 4. 5 damage coming our way. We'll put 1 on the Hulk. Then attacking over here for 2, 3. Go down to 9. Grab a counter for us and 1 for the streets. Discard 2 cards. Then our encounters. Now the villain attacks you. We will have Spider-Woman defend. So 2 damage. And we'll just put both on her. We're going to reveal an encounter card. We're going to say Treachery. It is a Treachery. Let's see. Deal a damage to Scarlet Spider and draw a card. Drawing a team building exercise. Sandman attacks you with +1 attack. We're just going to take it for 1, 2, 3 damage. Down to 6. Add a token, and we're about through the encounter stack. Pass first player. All right. Attack for 2. Down to 6. Thwart for 3. Spend a token, exhaust webbing to ready. Clear the area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If it removes the last threat on that scheme, draw a card. Into strength. We'll bring in another team building exercise. Then use 1 to help bring in a cartoon, Captain America, thwart a 2, attack for 2, 3 health. After your interplay, give someone a high 5. There you go. Now place a tune counter on your identity. There we go. And shuffle a Spider-Ham card from your discard pile into your deck. And we're going to go with a Swinging Web Pig. And we'll prep a plan B, spending 1. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. Exhaust plan B and discard a random card from your hand and deal 2 damage to an enemy. Then we will attack for 2, down to 4, sorry. Then we're going to attack for base 2, spend a token to give us +2 attack, so we're attacking for 4. Finish off the first version of Sandman. So next version, Resolve Surging Sands. Well, assuming I knew that, we'll play a little better. Request a hero action over here to exhaust the Hulk to remove 3 tokens. Then we'll attack and finish him off. Resolve the Surging Sands. Gets a token. We lose Sand Form. He's going to have same ability down here and 36 health. Then we're going to flip over, use the Beagle to get a token. And over here, attack for 2, down to 34. And ready your suit. Then attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down to 29. Use that for an all systems go to search your deck and discard pile for an interface upgrade and add it to our hand. We want our host spider. Spend 3 to bring that in. As an action, exhaust this to ready our suit. And attack for 3, down to 26. And end your turn. Ready everything up. Get our 3 cards, Strength, Throg, and a Piercing Strike. Over here, Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, Overwatch, Web Pig, Spycraft, and for Justice. 3 Threat. Scheme over here. Lose Confused. Attack over here. Defend for 4. So 3 damage coming our way. We're fine. Counter card. Acceleration. First player takes 3 indirect damage. I'll just take it all down to 3. Oh, yes, and then shuffle. Because the spider suit needs an encounter card. We'll say Treachery. It is not. It's a side scheme. Dirt Trap. When defeated, resolve Surging Sands ability on city streets. Then resolve it again. Just 1 threat on that. And over here, see, Public Outcry is in play. Place 2 counters on it. Then remove this card from the game. And that's what we're doing. We haven't been working on that at all. So probably not going to finish it. Pass first player. Have Spider-Man thwart. Get rid of that. Removes the counter there. But we'll get 1 there and pitch 2 cards. Then do it again and pitch 3 cards. Readies. He goes away. Web of Life and Destiny. We're going to choose here to draw a card. Psychic Link. Exhaust the Hulk to get rid of 3 tokens. Attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down to 21. Use a spider to ready, an attack for 3, down to 18. Bring in Throg, thwart 1, attack for 2, 2 health. To your enters play, give him a tough status card. If we're engaged with a minion or not, he's going to attack for 2. Down to 16. And use that as a resource to bring in a Psychic Link. When we make a basic thwart, we can exhaust this to get +2 for that thwart. And over here, use the Beagle for a resource. Then we're going to heal for 5, getting a resource, or up to 8. Flip on over. Attack for 2, down to 14. Web Warrior goes away, so pick yourself to draw a card into some cartoon physics. Team building to bring that in, so when our identity will take any amount of damage, discard this card, wiggle your body, and prevent all but one of that damage. Do some more team building to bring in Spider-Man. Thwart 1, attack 1, 3 health. After you enters play, remove a threat from a scheme for each Web Warrior card you control, including Spider-Man. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll attack for 2. Down to 12. Attack for 1. Down to 11. Attack for 2. Down to 9. Another Web Warrior. Pick yourself to draw a card. Cartoon physics. Use a token to ready with organic webbing. Then attack. Spend a token and give us +2 attack. So we're attacking for 4, down to 5. Then we're going to be a swinging web pig. Deal 6 damage to an enemy and confuse the enemy, but 6 damage is going to be enough to defeat him. So with that, our victory, using the conditions, calculate our total reputation. And in the campaign log, we defeated a community service, record that, but we did not do that. So our victory, victory points in the victory display, 0. No minions in play, we get 1. No side schemes in play, we get 2. No threat on the main scheme, we get 3. Fewer than 1 per player acceleration tokens in play, we get 4. No defeated identities, 5. So for 5 good things, we're going to deal campaign shield tech upgrades at random to a player. Player's going to choose one, add to their deck for the rest of the campaign, record that card's title in the shield tech section of the campaign log. Then return the others to the collection. The cards chosen this way do not count toward minimum or maximum deck size. Repeat this process for each player. Then our other goodie is during step 13 of game setup, each player may take an additional mulligan. Bad things, choose an Osborne Tech attachment at random, record its name in the log. See, during setup, shuffle each card recorded in the tech section into the encounter deck. And for setup, we're going to place 1 threat per player on the main scheme. So before I do that, since we've got 2 plays in with both of these guys, seems to start slow, and even once get everything out there, not sure if aggression is the right thing or not, but we'll see what's happening. Neat mechanics. I can't complain about him at all. He was able to do a lot. Fortunately, we didn't get enough side schemes to take care of that, but I think he did everything we needed him to do. So for the spider suit, we'll go ahead and let him decide first. Looking at 3. So we've got the propulsion gauntlet, wave, bracers, and compact darts. So exhaust the gauntlet, take 2 indirect damage to ready your hero. That would be good over here. -1 attack, your hero gets +1 defense and gains retaliate 1 and steady. Not bad, even though I'm using him for the attacking. See, the darts, to hero attacks, remove a dart counter from here, deal a damage to an enemy. Alter Ego action, spin a resource of any type. Place 3 dart counters here. Really don't go to Alter Ego action for much, but I'm not a huge fan of the others. So we're going to go with compact darts for the suit. Or for Penny. And then shuffle up again and see what we get for Spider-Ham. Retinal display, dampening suit, and navigator. If your minion or side scheme enters play, oh, that's the enhanced side. Let's go to the basic sides here. If your minion or side scheme enters play, attach the navigator to it. When the attached card is defeated, draw a card. Your hero's basic thwart can only remove threat from the scheme with the most threat. Your hero gets +1 thwart, and your hero's basic thwarts ignore the crisis icon. Well, I'm using him for the thwarter, so that's not bad. What else do we have? +2 hit points, and also not bad. When the villain phase begins, spend a resource of any type. Till the end of the phase, reduce the amount of damage your hero takes from each enemy attack by 1. That's not bad either. I'm going with the +1 thwart, though. Retinal display. All right, so that's it for this one. So Venom is up next. As always, hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.